Man, I'm bored. I wonder if there's anything on TV.
Last Christmas, I gave you my yacht, but the very next day, you got venom tags.
This year, to save me from mewing, I'll give it to Kaiser Nat.
Man, public access channels, am I right? And welcome back to Let's Play SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Last time, we more or less cleared out Jellyfish Fields of everything that it had to offer. There are 2 socks unavailable to us at the moment. We need abilities we will unlock later in the game to collect them. One after we get through that gate over there that only requires 15 golden spatulas, and another that will require us 40 golden spatulas and a boss fight to get. Not that the one that requires 15 golden spatulas doesn't require a boss fight, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's go on to the next level of the game, Downtown Bikini Bottom.
Downtown Bikini Bottom. Once a bustling metropolis, now a debris-covered crater.
SpongeBob, the robots are destroying downtown Bikini Bottom. We have to evacuate!
All right, but it's gonna take a while to get all this dust.
Not vacuum, evacuate! We have to get everyone to safety.
Can we just load them up in the boats?
That won't do any good.
Why not?
Because the robots have taken all the steering wheels.
Couldn't we just drive in a straight line?
No, there are too many turns.
Those fiends, they've thought of everything. Never fear, Mrs. Puff, I'll get those steering wheels back.
SpongeBob, if you're involved, I always fear. But I tell you what, if you can pull this off, I'll give you a golden spatula.
How about a driver's license instead?
Nice try.
So, we have our collection quest for the downtown Bikini Bottom area. Yes, a collection quest within a collection quest-driven game. A lot of the levels in this game will have various collection quests that require you to collect a bunch of a level-specific item in order to grab a golden spatula. Now, technically, Jellyfish Fields also had this with the King Jellyfish Jelly, but of course, that was just a singular item that you got upon defeating the King Jellyfish. You didn't even have to specifically go out of your way to collect it, you just had to win that fight.
Number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger hunt, 3 years running. Thank you.
There's the source of my title for this on the Something Awful thread. But yes, we have 11 steering wheels to collect. That is the setup for this level. We need to get the boats back in working order so that the people can evacuate downtown Bikini Bottom. Heading over into this area right here, we will come across this cannon just flinging tons of garbage our way. And you'll notice that there are a bunch of thunder tikis on top of stone tikis on top of buttons. Now we need to get these stone or thunder tikis to blow to get these stone tikis out of the way. And for these ones that we can't just jump up to, we have to stand a kind of a particular distance away from the stone tikis so that when the cannon tries to hit us with its garbage, it will instead just crash right into the thunder tiki. With that done, the buttons will be vulnerable. Well, not vulnerable, they'll just be able to be pressed, and we can get this mission finished off. We're getting a spatula objective very shortly into the level, much quicker than we got one in Jellyfish Fields. Hit all these buttons, and a convenient anvil will crash the cannon, and a golden spatula will appear atop this statue right here. Good stuff, good stuff. Just gotta do a little bit of finicky jumps to get up on top of the statue and get our first golden spatula of the level. Well, we've only been in here like a minute and 30 seconds. Honestly, probably even less, not counting the conversation with Ms. Puff, and we've already gotten a golden spatula. Good stuff, good stuff. Now, there are, of course, also socks to collect, much less than in the Jellyfish Fields area, only 9 this time. Jellyfish Fields has by far the most socks in the game in a single level, but, you know, 9, that's pretty respectable. Now, like Jellyfish Fields, we cannot get all of the collectibles within downtown Bikini Bottom on our first go-through. We will be able to get all the steering wheels, at least, but we cannot get all of the socks, and we cannot get all of the golden spatulas. Ooh, what's this? When SpongeBob touches this ball, he will change into a sponge ball. You can roll quickly as the sponge ball, but you cannot do anything else. Being hurt or pressing any button will change you back to your normal self. Before I lose my train of thought, there is one golden spatula and one sock that both require an endgame ability to collect in this level, so we won't be able to get them right away. This little glowing thing right here is the SpongeBall power-up. This, of course, turns SpongeBob into a ball, and he can roll forward at high speeds, but he has very little control. If you make any turns, they tend to be quite sharp. So it can be pretty difficult to control, but a lot of objectives in the game require that you make use of the speed at least for part of the way to the golden spatula, or whatever you need to reach. Also, this guy is just not having a good day. Hey, nice save, Gary. This enemy is a G-Love. Yeah, get it? The best way to deal with him is to bubble bounce him from above. Yes, so this guy, he will begin spinning his hands rapidly, but we can just jump up and over and do a bubble bounce onto him to take him out. Let's set up a little bit of a quick combo here. As soon as that blows, just hit these tikis, and there we go. Super mega combo. Let me see. We can't get to that right away. Before I activate the sponge ball, if I remember correctly, we have a G-Love over here, and we have a steering wheel. And actually, with my thoughts all scattered...
The Bikini Bottom scavenger hunt, 3 years running. Thank you.
Yeah, get used to SpongeBob saying that. With my thoughts all scattered, I completely forgot that we actually have to go back a little bit, because you may have noticed on a overhang close to Mrs. Puff, there was a steering wheel that we couldn't jump up to from the ground where we started, but by using those tikis, we can jump onto the overhangs.
Scavenger hunt, 3 years running. Thank you.
Yes, SpongeBob will say that a lot. That is his most common thing to say when he collects a level-specific collectible. And you hear this one a lot in this level because there are a lot of steering wheels to grab. Anyway, to make it through this area of spilt hot sauce, gotta hit this button and grab the sponge ball. We do not have much time. SpongeBob cannot walk this distance in the allotted time, but SpongeBall, no problem. If you hit the spilled hot sauce, you will lose the sponge ball power-up. Now, something unique to this level is that if you blow up these thunder tikis by the wooden fences, it will blow a hole in the fence, allowing you to backtrack through the area. Got another cannon launching garbage at us, just be careful of that. Get this jellyfish just because I feel like it. And break open another set of tikis for another bit of quick comboage. Let's start blowing all these up. Let's see right here. Believe that one, yeah, nowhere near close enough to blow that open. Let's just stomp this one real quick. And we get a bit of a unique obstacle with the sponge ball. When you are rolling at ramps, you will go over them at high speeds, and we can bounce off of that boat there and hopefully make it to the other side. Just double checking to make sure there aren't any steering wheels in that little drop in the area. I always forget if there is or isn't. So for this one, a very obscure control in this game that I don't typically use is that you can zoom in the camera by pressing down the right analog stick. It's kind of like the follow cam in Super Mario 64, and having this specific camera view makes it a little bit easier to line this up. We want to hit this dead on. There we go. Fail to hit that dead on, and you just kind of collapse into the area below. Let's set up a chain of explosions here. I believe that blew open another hole in the fence, and this allows us to get up here. So doing a little bit of platforming to get up here. As you can see, there's a sock over there. I want to see if we can make this jump. It's a little tricky. We can definitely get this later, but jump and extend? Nah, I couldn't do it. I'm not going to go for it again. Like I said, we can get it later much more easily. This level is one of the more beloved levels in the game for a variety of reasons. In general, it just has some interesting and cool objectives to do, but also it introduces a new playable character that a lot of people like to play as in this game, and it just has one of the most chill soundtracks in the game. Love hearing this soundtrack for this level every single time. If you've ever watched a Smokey McCrack video, you've probably heard this song before. Alright, let's close that up. That window randomly launching garbage at you, not too threatening, but you know what, why not close it up just to help us out a little bit. Hey, it's Bubble Buddy.
This door is locked from the inside. Who would do such a thing?
Who indeed, who indeed. I wonder if there's a way to get to the other side of that. Here we've got a very unique variety of platform that we don't really see anywhere else in the game that I can recall offhand. There are these slippery platforms that also shift in accordance to where your weight is placed on it. I can't recall a single other place in the game where you see a platform like that. Over there, we've got the Sea Needle, of course the Bikini Bottom equivalent of the Space Needle in Seattle, right? I'm pretty sure that's a Seattle landmark. We could go in there right now. We have more than enough shiny objects to foot the cache gate there, but the game kind of intends for you to go there at the end of the level. All of the objectives located in that area are situated at the end of the spatula list, and plus it allows us to do a character switch before we are formally introduced to that. Let me see here. There's another steering wheel here, but I don't believe we can get up on this boat here. I just want to double check this. Yeah. So we'll come back for that later. Like I said, we will be able to get to certain things a bit more easily once we pass a certain point in the level. First order of business, though, let's just line up with the sponge ball. We want to, of course, shoot up that ramp and go through that life preserver there. Whoa, hey, sometimes these guys like to get in your way. As you can see, there's a Duplicatatron just constantly spitting them out, so sometimes, depending on how the robots decide to move, they're just gonna get in your way no matter what. Hopefully this time it stays off to the left there. Looks like it's going to. There we go. And right through. Bullseye. Destroying the Duplicatatron will blast a hole in that fence, allowing us to get back to the Sea Needle much more easily. Get those shiny objects right there. Hey, Gary!
Hi, Gary.
Meow?
Yes, thanks for noticing. I have been working out.
Meow.
Not done? Doesn't that mean...
Meow.
Oh, that's the entrance to the rooftops, which leads to the lighthouse? Aha! There's another golden spatula. I could really use that.
Meow.
What do you mean, get Sandy to help me? I can get through this.
Meow. Meow.
Oh, that gap looks big. Okay, I'm definitely not making that jump. How is anyone going to get across there? Uh-oh, more robots. Holy Dutchman's ghost! That gap looks impossible! And impassable! Okay, I'll go get Sandy to help me out.
So, it's not like the game hadn't already told us this, but yes, we can also play as Sandy in this game, and I'd best describe her as the Dixie Kong to SpongeBob's Diddy Kong, a comparison that will become understandable as soon as we actually get access to her. Let's blow these Thunder Tikis just to blast open more fences, so now we can actually get back through most of the first downtown Bikini Bottom area. Those fences stay blown open permanently. Jump to the top of these steps. Sandy can glide across the gap to the next rooftop by pressing the A button 3 times and keeping it depressed. So yes, Sandy has a hover ability. She is able to use a lasso to hover across gaps. Also, jumping up from there, we are able to get that steering wheel now. Of course, that throws us down a little bit, so we do have to backtrack just a little. If you noticed in the cutscene, there is a steering wheel on that building over there, but we cannot easily reach it from there. We're going to need to get to higher ground before we can reach that. Also, remember that sock that I tried to get earlier? Sandy can much more easily obtain that sock, so we will keep an eye out for when we can get over to that section of building. Actually, I see it right over there. I don't mind backtracking a little bit. Anytime where I fall like a dummy and have to do some backtracking, I'll just cut back to the areas where we were. So let's drop down here. And let's grab that sock. And with the power of editing magic, I will be right back where we were. Alright, here we are, back where I was before. Conveniently, there's actually a trampoline that allows you to get up here now, making that a little bit easier to get back to, should you go for that sock. Sandy can do a chop attack by pressing the X button. If you chop while in the air, you will perform a karate kick. So yes, Sandy does in fact have a jump attack, unlike Patrick, so she doesn't get downgraded too much compared to SpongeBob. Sandy can lasso an object by pressing the B button. This is essentially Sandy's answer to anything that SpongeBob would need Bubble Bounce or Bubble Bash for. She can use the lasso from the ground in order to grab things and destroy them. However, it's pretty slow, so it's not really an effective replacement. It just is the option she has for things that require it, require those abilities from SpongeBob. Sandy can swing from a swing hook by pressing the B button. So yeah. Can do a little Spider-Man action with Sandy, though only from designated swing points. Sandy can lasso a robot by pressing the B button. So yeah, Sandy is not able to attack the G-Love from above, so she must lasso it to swing it off to the side. We can go up a little bit higher. Now, one thing to note about the lasso points is that they actually have pretty generous detection boxes. We could totally swing on this one from here, but let's play by the game's intent. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Hold on. I was just doing a quick demonstration of how to not properly platform in this game. Let's destroy this Duplicatotron and begin our swing. Like I said, the hit detection for swing points is actually a lot more generous than the game would like you to believe, so you can swing from places you're probably not intended to from a level design perspective, but the game fully allows it. Now, let's get to this swing point right here, and just angle the camera a little bit. You don't need to specifically get from the swing point in order to get over to that ledge there. This is just the easiest place to get to it from. You can just barely reach it. Sandy will grab the lip of the ledge if you jump from the area with the box over there. But there is another sock here and another steering wheel should we descend to this building right here. And because we opened the box, we can now get right back up to where we were. Unfortunately, cannot just grab the lip of that platform right there. But no big deal, no time lost, no need for editing magic. Let's get another hover, and let's get another golden spatula. Took a little bit more time to get this one, but not too bad, not too bad. Alright, let's head into the next area of downtown Bikini Bottom, the downtown rooftops.
Hey, Larry, what's shaking?
Sandy! Boy, am I glad to see you. I need your help. My TV reception has been terrible lately. I need to have someone replace my old antenna with this shiny new one.
Yes, sir. That there antenna is shinier than a $3 bill. Well, why don't you replace it yourself?
I'm not really much of a jumper.
So, what's jumping got to do with it?
Because the old antenna is up there.
Woo! That's taller than a glass of Texas iced tea.
The robots have blocked off that building, and I can't do all those fancy moves you and SpongeBob do to get across these gaps. All I can do is flex! Wanna see?
Yeah, great. So what are you gonna do with the old antenna?
Oh, that? It's yours if you replace it with a new one.
Well, I have been getting bad TV reception in the tree dome. Okay, Larry, you got a deal.
This whole TV antenna subplot is a complete red herring. There is nothing to be done with the TV antennas, but going through this area will lead us to a golden spatula. Before we get to that, though, we can go back to this area right here, and there'll be a bus stop. Yes, there is a bus stop on the rooftops. Don't think too hard about it. Honestly, that applied to the previous area, but it was a little less worth drawing attention to because at least we were connected to roads. Anyways, very quickly, we can bring out SpongeBob here. This is just a brief side thing to do as SpongeBob. You need to be Sandy for most of this area. You can hit that switch, jump onto that trampoline, and get this sock right here. If I don't get knocked off by the fan. I'm such a weirdo for this, but anytime I hear an industrial fan, it just makes me think of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Anyways, you can see a golden spatula down there, but if you try to jump to it, you will hit an invisible wall over that platform. SpongeBob cannot reach it. Now, there's a pretty famous glitch in the speedrunning scene for this game that does actually give you the speed to just smash through that invisible wall and get the spatula with SpongeBob, but if you're not using that glitch, you have to get it as Sandy. I admire your attempt to flex there, Larry, but you do not have the animation for that in this game. Heading over this way, we've got... a brand new variety of robot, and boy do I hate this one. This guy throws water missiles at you, and his aim is exceptionally random. Sometimes he won't... Sometimes he won't aim anywhere close to you, and we just got our first out of bounds. Should you go out of bounds in this game, Hans will grab you and throw you back onto the most recent safe ledge you've been on. But yeah, those guys who chuck the water missiles are so annoying, and right there you just saw how annoying the lagginess of Sandy's lasso can be. She just had no choice but to take the hit there. I could have walked around and just waited for the guy to throw another missile, but also the timing between missile throws is pretty weird. But yeah, sometimes he'll aim right for you, sometimes he'll try to direct the shot for where you're going, and sometimes he'll just miss by a country mile. It's like playing the lottery with that guy. You never know if you're gonna win big or just go absolutely bust. Anyways, we've got these floating platforms here that once again shift with our weight. We've got a duplicated on the break. Always break these. They give a good amount of shiny objects, about 50 altogether, I think. Remember that you want to land a good distance away from the G-Love there. Unfortunately, did not land in the right spot to avoid taking some damage there, but that's just the kind of thing we gotta deal with sometimes. Be sure to well, actually, this box is already open. Do you want to feed the clam 2,100 shiny objects to create a new trail hitch path? Absolutely. Now, that doesn't actually create the trail hitch path. Instead, it creates a button, and if you hit it, that creates the trail hitch path. And if you look at it, this path leads all the way back to that golden spatula. This is how we're supposed to get it. However, we have a time limit. If the time limit expires, the hitch path will go away on us. But it's not a terribly threatening one. Just keep swinging and you will make it no problem. And not too much to say about this mission, so apologies. I'm indulging in my typical bad habit of breaking into a cappella when I like the game's music. It's so catchy, alright? And with that, we can now just float over to the spatula here. Sandy can get through to it, no problem. Notice that all those tikis came back. Could break those for an easy combo, but nah, let's just take the box back. We want to go on our way. Now, one thing that I haven't brought attention to is that now we are in this level, we have unlocked one of the first popular shiny object farming methods in this game. And it's probably the one I'll mostly be using. The most popular shiny object farming method in the speedrunning scene is based on a pretty amusing glitch, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to reliably pull it off. I'll attempt to demonstrate it just for the sake of showing it, and if I get it off, then I will, you know, let the shiny objects roll in. Also, before we go forward, if we turn the camera around and back up a little bit, we can get that steering wheel and another sock. We will be passing through this section of the level earlier, but we can get those our collectibles right now, so why not grab them? And heading this way, if you want to, you can lasso that Thunder Tiki there. I don't really think it's worth wasting the time on a minuscule amount of shiny objects. If I feel like a combo is not worth my time to set up just because, well, honestly, you just don't get that much from it. Let's get this Duplicatotron broken. Woo. Let's kick this robot into, wow, nice triple there. And hit the switch and get the trampolines down. Generally, when doing normal attacks with Sandy, I actually like to just press the attack button and the jump button at the same time, which will cause her to launch a jump kick, essentially from the ground. And this comes out a little bit faster than her chop, and reaches a little bit farther, I feel. Not sure if it specifically does the latter, but it certainly feels like it. Drink Coral Cola. I think there is also a Barnacle Chips billboard somewhere in this level. I love that one. Try Barnacle Chips. They're delicious. They most certainly are not delicious. Not the way I use them. Come on, come on. You're not expecting a Let's Play of a SpongeBob game without a few references coming through, even if they aren't exactly terribly clever, I will admit. You see my game, though, right? And I want to grab this Thunder Tiki. Whoa. Yeah, Sandy cannot lasso stone tikis. She just refuses to do so. Not able to destroy them like that. Bit unfortunate that I could not lasso those G-Loves into each other. You can angle the direction of the lasso toss to get it to go a certain way, but you don't exactly have great control over it. This is one of the times where you actually do have to manipulate the platforms to extend your ability to jump a little bit higher here. Let's get this G-Love once again. And let's tag this Thunder Tiki. That's a nice and easy way to get some shiny objects there. That's definitely worth our time to do. And over this way, this is where we could have gotten the sock and the steering wheel if we wanted to, but we already grabbed them. Noticing that there's a lot of clotheslines with SpongeBob's SquarePants and Patrick's shorts on them. Clotheslines for the purpose of drying your clothes in Bikini Bottom is, again, another one of those things that you don't have to, you gotta try to not think so, oh god. Oof, that was close. Yeah, try so not to think too hard about the logistics of. And here is our spatula. And presumably, Sandy affixes Larry's TV antenna for him. At this point, now we have to switch to SpongeBob. getting that stopped. Before you enter this lighthouse here, you want to go around the back here because there is a sock hidden behind the lighthouse waiting for us to collect it. Getting these in rapid succession. Let me see here. Yeah, just 2 more socks to collect. One of them we will be able to grab, the other will have to come back later. Heading into this lighthouse, we are thrown into a combat challenge, and a very simple one. We just have to break this Duplicatatron and any robots that it spawns in, and then the floor will begin to break below us. If you are falling right where the Duplicatatron is, you can actually break it and clear the floor before it even has a chance to spit out any robots. Just gotta memorize the locations of where the Duplicatatrons are below you before dropping down to the next level. Alright, heading over this way. There is that Duplicatatron. Let's see. Got a tartar sauce robot here. These vomiting guys whose name escapes me. Do not celebrate that. That is my pain. That is an absolute tragedy in process. I believe this is the next to last floor that we have to clear out, so let's get this thing busted. Ooh. Man, couldn't even see that guy. Ow, come on. Yeah, these little guys, they can be surprisingly dangerous if you don't hit them right out. Alright, drop down here. There will be a Thunder Tiki below. You want to get this one, tag it, and as those Stone Tikis fall down, you'll get a massive combo set up and a whole bunch of free shiny objects there, plus a 50 that was underneath the Stone Tikis. Very nice. Good amount of money to replace the shiny objects that we used up earlier. Now that those Duplicatatrons are taken care of, SpongeBob can either Bubble Bash these missile guys, or he can just jump up and hit them. They only take 1 hit. It really depends on how high they are deciding to fly. With that taken care of, we get a golden spatula, we get a steering wheel, and we have a button to press. But what does pressing the button do? Well, you know that pushing the button, sometimes pushing a button is the most satisfying, so why not do it anyway?
The Bikini Bottom Scavenger Hunt, 3 years running.
Thank you. Anybody who's played this game also has that line burned into their memory. SpongeBob loves saying it in this level. Doesn't say it as much for the rest of the game, though, unfortunately. Or perhaps fortunately, depending on how easily annoyed you are by that. Anyway, bouncing up those trampolines after hitting that switch allows us to get another sock. The last one that we can collect for this level.
You'll have to open this door from the inside.
So yes, we cannot go back into the lighthouse now, but if we just use the level or the golden spatula select fast travel, we can get back to the objective that way. Not like you can get out of the lighthouse without completing it. Anyway, now that that's taken care of, we can make our way to the Sea Needle. So let's get over there. I went the completely wrong way. I saw a G-Love. He gives decent money. I had to kill him, okay? But you're probably noticing that we are missing 2 steering wheels. The final 2 steering wheels are located in the Sea Needle. Additionally, there is another objective for a golden spatula for us in here.
Ah, there you are, boy. Someone's broken the Sea Needle.
That's horrible. The Sea Needle is the cradle of Crochet Corner.
Yes, it is. But what's more important is that there are tikis and shiny objects just outside the windows.
Mr. Krabs, how can you think of money at a time like this?
Easy. I just clear my mind. Money, money, money. Now listen here, boy. You know that I'll give you golden spatulas if you bring me shiny objects. But I'm going to sweeten the deal. If you can break all the tikis here at the Sea Needle, I'll give you a bonus golden spatula.
Why would I want to break the tikis, Mr. Krabs?
Because they were laughing at you and calling you funny names.
What kind of funny names?
You know. SpongeBob Butt Pants.
That's not very funny.
No. But they said your mom was ugly.
Ugly? All right, Mr. Krabs, break them I shall. You've got a deal.
Man, SpongeBob, you're so vulnerable to being gaslit. But yes, we have a bungee jumping mission here. There are 3 points around the Sea Needle that have tikis below the bungee hook. We have to smash all the tikis, and Mr. Krabs will give us a bonus spatula. Now, I'm actually going to go around the Sea Needle, take out all the enemies, and open up some doors before going for the tikis. That is because if you happen to die by falling into a pit or just losing all your underwear, or however, all the tikis that you destroyed respawn. Now, generally that's not too much of a problem, except for this jerk right here. So often I get sniped by this guy and get sent flying into the abyss, and the 2 sets of tikis that I smashed just respawn. I have to do the whole thing over again. Here is the last steering wheel. These switches, of course, open up the various doors in the Sea Needle. Now we have direct access to all the bungee hooks, so we can do that without any threat of death. Now this mission is a little bit annoying. Also, be sure you're actually lined up properly with the bungee hook. It is entirely possible to jump past it and fall to your death. If you are able to smash the floating tiki at the bottom of these tiki sets, you will send all the tikis that are on top of it careening to the bottom of the Sea Needle and breaking on impact. So that's one way to deal with this mission. You gotta be kidding me. That's one way to deal with this, and it's the way speedrunners deal with it, is just brushing past the other tikis to smash the bottom one. I'm no good at that, so instead I'm just going to mostly shoot for smashing all of them. Let's see, want to hit the north hook next. Every time you walk up to an opening for a bungee hook, you get a little cutscene of the hook dropping down. Can't have multiple hooks at the different windows, are you crazy? This one has some thunder tikis involved in the mix, so be careful about your underwear here. This, more than any other place, is where you're likely to die via underwear depletion. Also, I am not lining this up properly at all. It's a little bit tricky, I have no idea how those speed guys do it. It's just crazy. Come on, SpongeBob, let's get these things. Let's go for this one. May as well. I've got an excess of underwear, so may as well. There we go. All right, just one more. Sorry, this is never a mission that I do quickly. I am failing the any % run right now. All right, that's that one taken care of. We've just got one more hook to clear. Fortunately, we will have some underwear to replenish ourselves in this hallway right here, so I won't have to worry about dying to the Thunder Tikis, in theory. Note that the Sea Needle is the location of both the sock and the spatula that we cannot get at the moment. We will have to come back later with some abilities that we end up picking up later in the game. Or rather, one specific ability, but we get it right at the end of the game, more or less. Okay, not at the end of the game, but in the final area of the game. You know what I mean. Let's see. Yes, got it, okay. Let's just brush that Thunder Tiki, and we should be good. Come on. Okay, that's close enough to a brush. If you hear that tone, that means you got all the Tikis, so you are good to collect your reward from Mr. Krabs.
Good work, boy. Here's the golden spatula, like I promised.
Yeah, surprisingly little to say there. Now I know what you're thinking. What does Sandy have to say to Mr. Krabs? Well, let's just pull her out, because there is also a bus stop inside the Sea Needle. What do you got for Sandy, Mr. Krabs?
Ahoy there, Sandy.
Top of the morning to you, Mr. Krabs.
Top of the morning. Yeah, if a character is not directly involved with the spatula quest an NPC is going to tell you about, they tend to have pretty Spartan dialogue. Now, as you can see, we've gotten most of the golden spatulas, we've gotten all of the steering wheels. The only thing left to do is to use our first instance of the fast travel system in this game to take a taxi back to Mrs. Puff. Additionally, when taking a taxi...
SpongeBob, I'm impressed. How did you fight?
Well, there were these robots. I met Sandy, and the lighthouse was...
Okay. Sorry I asked. Here's the golden spatula that I promised you.
Thanks, Mrs. Puff. Now I'll help you guys evacuate.
But SpongeBob, you don't have a driver's license.
Oh, don't I?
No, you don't.
Well, if I don't, then what's this?
A library card.
Oh.
As I was gonna say, when you use the fast travel system, you are automatically switched to the character that is intended for that mission. So no need to switch back to SpongeBob in order to hand over the steering wheels to Mrs. Puff. Now, I mentioned earlier in the level that we have unlocked the first money object farming method for the game, and that would be Tiki Go Boom, the mission that we did at the start of the level. You can just barely clip the Thunder Tikis with the Bubble Bash and get them to start detonating, and detonating all these Thunder Tikis and Stone Tikis gives you about 800 shiny objects, plus if you blow up the Thunder Tiki and these Shit Tikis. As we progress through the games, we'll find more efficient ways to farm the Tiki Go Boom, but at the end of every level, I will be engaging in some shiny object farming so that we can buy the golden spatulas from Mr. Krabs as we progress through the game. I personally find it to be most prudent to just do your grinding incrementally throughout the game, because doing it all at once is super tedious and takes like a half hour using this method to get all of the shiny objects. Plus, you know, you can just blow up these tikis by whacking them for the ones that you jump into. By the way, make sure your shiny object counter stops actually ticking up, because you can actually do the fast travel before you got all the shiny objects you got from the combo and destroying the tikis there. Alright, so I'm just going to do the grinding. I'm going to get up to 8,000 shiny objects. That'll give me more than enough to obviously buy a spatula from Mr. Krabs, and give me extra in reserve for cash gates in the next level. Alright, got all the shiny objects that I want for now. With that taken care of, once again, we can use our taxi fast travel to just warp ourselves directly back to Mr. Krabs. One thing to note about the Tiki Go Boom farming method, strangely enough, when the cannon is still placed in that mission, I've tried many times, but those two tikis that are closest to the cannon, those two tiki stacks, I've never been able to actually get them to trigger before the cannon is destroyed by using Bubble Bash. It seems like they made it so that when the cannon is actually present, you absolutely have to get the cannon to shoot into them, but once the cannon is gone, their hit boxes or their detection boxes extend out a little bit so you can use Bubble Bash to blow them up. Maybe it's an intended farming method, who knows. Anyways, we can now buy a golden spatula from Mr. Krabs.
So, do you want to trade shiny objects for a golden spatula? That's quality craftsmanship, that is. Come again.
Now, as you'd imagine, buying a golden spatula from Mr. Krabs is not a flat rate. The spatulas get more and more expensive as you buy more. They linearly go up by 500 shiny objects for every one you buy, save for the last two. These ones go up by 1,000, so let me see, this would be 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, 5,500, 6,500, and then 7,500 for the final one. So yeah, it gets very pricey, and you're not going to get those shiny objects without at least some amount of farming. Also, we've got enough socks to turn in for a golden spatula from Patrick.
Wow, SpongeBob, you found some!
Now they're back home, safe where they belong.
Here's your golden back scratcher.
Spatula.
I don't speak Italian.
Did the game actually give me the golden spatula there? What the heck? That is worrying. Game?
Wow,
Okay, that was weird. That's, what the heck? Uh-oh. That might be a problem later in the game, but we'll see what happens, I guess. If not, I may have to do some replaying of the game. That was, very strange. Uh-oh. That's a problem and a half. Well, I'm going to have to deliberate about what exactly this is, what exactly this means, but, that's where we're gonna leave this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, though, goodbye.